Hello, my name is Danny Kurko, and today I'd like to talk to you about an investor manipulation situation that may change your mind on who and where to invest your money. This is nothing to worry about, as this took place about 5 years ago, and there is now more protection and resources to locate the financial advisors that are fraudulent and manipulative in these big markets. So this presentation should warn you and hopefully teach you to do some prior research and have knowledge on where you want to invest your hard-earned cash. In this situation, we're going to be talking about Mr. Block, who is a financial advisor at Oppenheimer & Co. Incorporated. He manipulated and took advantage of a client who lacked investment knowledge and actually invested over $3 million of the client's money in risky repeated investments that generated him and Oppenheimer a lot of commission. So a little bit of background on Oppenheimer. It was an investment company started in 1881 from the ground up, and now in 2022 today, it is worth over $3 billion in net worth. And in 2017, Oppenheimer actually employed over 1,000 financial advisors, but just one, aka Mr. Block, was able to get them in a little bit of trouble. So Oppenheimer Holdings has locations in New York City and in Atlanta, but today I'll be talking about a subsidiary location held in Delaware called Oppenheimer & Co. Incorporated. So what happened? What ethical dilemma happened? So back in 2008, Mr. Block and this new investor with Oppenheimer developed a relationship beyond the typical investor-client relationship, which led to the experienced investor to rely a little bit too much on Mr. Block's counsel. So, according to Delaware Investor Protection Director Owen P. Lefkin, he said that Mr. Block urged the victim to invest in aggressive investments that were unsuitable for the victim's needs. Between 2008 and 2011, the new investor invested $3 million with Oppenheimer, and reports say that Mr. Block generated over $867,000 in commissions for that at that time for himself and Oppenheimer. And of course, the Delaware Securities had to get involved with that because that's a little bit suspicious. Title 6 of Chapter 73 of the Delaware Security Act says that Oppenheimer or all brokerages in that state are supposed to monitor customer trades and activity that report red flags. And according to Owen P. Lefkin's report, that did not happen with Oppenheimer in this situation. Oppenheimer did not directly discuss the account activities with the client, and they did not confirm that the customer had given approval for Mr. Block's investment method. So, how is this resolved? Eventually, Oppenheimer decided to cooperate with the protection unit, and they agreed to pay on their behalf. Oppenheimer is also instructed to refrain from committing any future violations, and they should develop and maintain policies that reasonably supervise their financial advisors. So, the legal and ethical implications in this situation. Actually, I believe that this is legal, but is very unethical because bad financial advice is actually legal, unfortunately. Mr. Block and Oppenheimer actually never admitted to doing any of the wrongdoings. And in this very case scenario, it is possible Mr. Block thought that the correct investment aggressive moves for the client were a good idea. And it happened to be unethical because Mr. Block was profiting off the client's failure. So the stakeholders impacted with this situation, I believe there was actually none. The investors maybe rose a level of distrust with Oppenheimer saying, hey, is this going to happen to me? Hey, are all your financial advisors unethical or acting unethical? They don't know. They had plenty of questions after. And then the other financial advisors who are of perfect ethical standing, they were set with new procedures, training, guidelines, and to ensure just that this never happens again, because this was a pretty big situation. And then a new and improved ethical dilemma act was set out by Delaware, and that ensures that all the big securities in Delaware make sure someone will be reviewing the next big trade within the company, and they will make sure to double check any suspicion or manipulation by the advisors. So to conclude this presentation, I just want to say that the main lesson learned is to always do research behind where you're investing, who you're investing with, because you do not want to become a victim of a similar situation. And to all the big companies and corporations out there, that they make sure to monitor their employees, because actions are increasing, unethical actions are increasing at a high rate today in workplaces, and it is not worth risking your company over a lack of supervision. So thank you, and here is my attire.